Good Erev Shabbos, Parshas Vayishlach, from as close as I could get to Nachal Yabok, which the actual Nachal Yabok is today in Jordan. So I'm here in the south of Eretz HaKodesh, in a beautiful place, and of course by the water, doing my best to give you a beautiful idea on this week's Parshas Vayishlach. Here's the thought. The Pasuk says, Vayivasar Yaakov levadoi v'yavok ish imoi ad alois hashachar. So Rashi, efingerer, on the spot, tells us, Shachach pachim ktanim v'chazar alehem. He had forgotten some small jars, and he went back for them. So first of all, as we approach the Chag of Chanukah, Chanukah, as we know, is also about the nace of the pachim ktanim. But my question is, why did Yaakov Avinu choose to put himself into a makom sakona, to potentially sacrifice his life in order to go back for the pachim ktanim? After all, wouldn't that dictate that of primal importance would be to protect his life and his physical safety? So why do we find that Yaakov goes back for these seemingly valueless pachim ktanim, or minutely valued pachim ktanim, and sacrifice his life? In fact, we see that his life was in jeopardy. He got into a physical battle with the Malach of Esav, the Sar Shel Esav. Why does he do that? After all, Yaakov was an extremely wealthy man. He had split his assets into Shnei Machnos. There was no shortage of money, and he surely would not miss those small pachim had he left them. And I think from here we learn a tremendous lesson. We learn that tzaddikim, mamoinim, is chashav yoyser mibigufam. Now, why would that be? Why would to a tzaddik their mammon be more important than their life? And I think we could even learn from last week's parsha. Yaakov Avinu says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he says, Im titeni lechem lecho begel lovosh ushmarani baderech v'cho asher titeni aser asrenu lach. All Yaakov asked was lechem lecho v'beged lovosh, the bare basic essentials. He asked for bread, basically, and clothing. And then he said, and Hashem will protect me. You see, Yaakov understood that anything above and beyond the bare essentials, anything above and beyond the lechem lecho and the beged lovosh, the clothing to wear and the bread to eat, was absolutely unnecessary. And it was all a huge gift from the Rabbeinu Shalom. And therefore he says, anything above and beyond that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I know you're going to shower me with tremendous beneficence. But I realize it's a huge gift, and therefore, Aser Asranulach, I'll give you Meiser on it. So what Yaakov Avinu teaches us is, by going back for the Pachim Ktanim, that anything above and beyond the basic bare essentials that he needs to live is not his. It's Mammon Hektish. It belongs to the Rabbeinu Shalom. It's purely for using for mitzvahs and tzedakah and chesed and ma'asim tovim. And therefore, if Yaakov would have left those pachim ktanim, however seemingly invaluable they were, he would be moyo behektish. He would actually be desecrating hektish, which belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that Yaakov couldn't understand or tolerate. And therefore Yaakov went back for the pachim ktanim, because those pachim ktanim were above and beyond the lechem lechol or the beged lovosh, and by not going back for them, he would be a moyo behektish, because everything above and beyond that belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. May it be the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that each and every one of us be bestowed with tremendous bounty and bracha. And may we have tremendous bracha in our lives above and beyond the lechem lechol and the beged lovosh, so that we too can be mekayim the bracha of Aser Asrenu Lach. Have a wonderful Shabbos and a freilichen Chanukah.